The Honda CR-V is the world's most sold SUV. Why is that the case? The new front here has been updated, so it's rather an evolution. It's not completely different, but it looks a little bit sportier. However, Honda is not in the game for the sportiest design whatsoever with their SUVs. They rather still make those friendly faces and also with a lot of round shapes. The length of 4,58 meters, 15 foot or 180 inches. Brings us to the side profile of this vehicle, where this interesting metallic color shines once again. The rims, by the way, start with 17-inch. Those ones here are 18-inch. Optional, there's also 19 available. However, I think 18-inch is a good choice. They also look visually attractive already in that size. So it's 6 centimeters longer than the predecessor in length, but also gained 4 centimeters in ground clearance. In the rear we can see that those tail lamps are quite sculptural, so they're 3D alike. They really stand out even from the side profile already. And this form here, where have we seen that too? Yeah, at Volvo with their SUVs, but we can surely argue who came first here. And real exhaust pipes in the lower part, again with a grey contrast right here. I think that really works very well, especially with that color. So the main engine for the Honda CR-V in this new generation is a 1.5 liter turbo petrol with 170 horsepower in the manual hand drive version with front wheel drive or all-wheel drive, or 190 horsepower as we see it here with all-wheel drive and CVT automatic combination. Let's take a look at the interior together. This wood style inserts here, I really like them, and they're a good contrast. Fabric seats here, they are the base seats, and I mean really marvelous base seats. Look at the support also at the sides. Let's get inside. This is the maximum the front door opens, but still easy entry. You have somewhat not the highest SUV seating position in here, somewhat crossover alike. But it's not bad at all. You sit still quite upright on the seat and the comfort is really superb. Here we go with the interior overview. You can still have this mute button right here. This is the only real button on the screen left. This is the optional setup, the top setup here for the infotainment, but probably most will go for that then. Then they have two 7-inch screens, left side for the digital instruments, right side then for this infotainment system. Soon more deals to both screens. The top part here, by the way, is a little soft touch. You can see the whole interior comes a little bit towards you. That is reducing the space a little bit, but to the sides you have really abundance of space. Here again with this nice wood style insert and then some leatherette style for the rest of the dashboard. The automatic shifting lever can be accessed quite easily. This one here, the CVT automatic transmission. I'll tell you more about it when we drive the vehicle. And you still have physical temperature knobs. I really like that. That makes it so easy to control it while driving, for example. Left side coolant temperature, right side fuel meter, and the middle part is the digital instruments. We can see the RPMs but also digital speed. It's kept quite simple, but I think it's also good. You have a good overview. Now to the main infotainment screen. The GPS could be a little bit more responsive. See, it's not reacting too fast, but you can zoom in and out like on the smartphone. That comes handy. And you can connect your phone via Bluetooth, but also with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. and then you have it right here. It's, by the way, also good for the voice activation. If you use that and hold the voice button at the steering wheel, it activates Siri. And that's the rear view camera. It has actually now a little bit better resolution, so that's quite okay. It's not the most fancy one, but it surely does the job. And by the way, you can see here, the lines also adjust a little bit when you turn the steering wheel, so you know where you actually going to. There's a lot of room in the middle lower console, 12-volt power supply, then adaptive cup holders, then really a lot of space here under the armrest. You can move it up, and it's actually quite well attached. Could be a little bit more fixed, but I think it's still okay. And then this middle part there, you can either move it like this, forward or backward, or completely remove it at all. That's also possible. And then even more space below that. And then there are USB supplies, one to connect the smartphone for the mirroring and one just to recharge the phone. Let's get to the rear bench, which is so important for this vehicle. And what? Look at that! 90-degree opening. We hardly see that with any other vehicle. That's awesome. Really cool. And by the way, the inside of the door here, this is hard pack material, whereas in the front there's soft pack material. I think we can live with that here. But then, of course, the rest here is inside soft fabric, so that's also cool. That's what that vehicle is for. 5 centimeter increase in legroom in this new generation if you compare it to the predecessor. And overall, this is really awesome. I will soon show you with the trunk. This strategy of this vehicle is to offer the maximum of legroom available, not the maximum of trunk length. We have the manual hatch here today. However, there's also an electric one available, and then you can also get this foot kick opening mechanism if you like. And if we then look inside, wow! First of all, a very low loading sill, so easy to put stuff in and out, and it's even then a full replacement tire underneath. They have used this room so well. Look at how wide it is here. Wow. This cover here, by the way, it can be stuffed like this, that it's upright, then it's, let's say, a little bit sticky here, and wobbly here. It doesn't have rails on the side, like this. Or you just let it hang down. It's also possible, or fold it up like this. Well, then let's take some measurements with Professor Thomas here. It's a little bit less than 1 meter in length, so the trunk length is not the biggest strength yet. Then here, this is about 1 meter in width. The acceleration figure to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour is about 10 seconds. We'll also experience that soon again. First of all, some city traffic here. Suspension-wise, it is also rather soft and set for a comfortable ride, but however, when I feel those small bumps in the road, those are not evened out too well. That's also something which the predecessor had, and I thought they would have improved that a little bit. But that's also something where they're not that strong in with the suspension setup. As for the steering, it feels very light. That has the primary purpose to make it easy to park in and out. It doesn't give you the most natural feeling, but it doesn't have a total dead zone or something. At least something is happening also in those minor areas. Overall, I think something you can really live with. And also found it quite cool that we have so upright structures also at the inside of the interior here at the sides, that again accounts for the spacious feeling. So you overall get a calm and spacious travel feeling when being in this SUV. And again, this proves one of my points that this is not one of the biggest ones. It's not full size, but it delivers you a lot of room, as we've shown you in the interior part, so you don't have to go all the way big on the exterior. So as for the driving modes, you do have this Econ mode. That one is reducing the throttle input a little bit. helps you to let the car roll and stuff, also with the gear changes and stuff, so you can save a little bit more fuel. And on the other side we have the S mode. Maybe you heard that goes a gear lower, maybe for the acceleration. Let's go, 70 to 100. That was already it. That was almost 110. So that still was quite okay, and you know, it wasn't too bad for the CVT automatic. So we had some older CVT automatics which really went like, and it was, you know, quite painful to hear. But this one was actually quite okay, or what do you think? And now to our conclusion for today with the Honda CR-V. Well, as an evolution on the exterior, it's not too different at first sight, a little bit more modern for sure. On the interior we have the upgraded infotainment system, better material quality, overall feels more refined definitely, and a lot of room, even more than before. Yes, it's also a little bit bigger, but not that it would change the whole vehicle concept or something. And especially the rear bench is so well to use, and abundance of luggage space too. This is also what makes this car so strong. And I said a couple of times in the driving part, I think this car is unpretentious. What I mean by that? Well, in a way that it is easy to use. It's not suggesting, oh, super premium or stuff. You just use this car. And that's also what so many people appreciate about this very vehicle. By the way, I also wanted to talk about the fuel consumption. I want to wait a little bit more till I drove the vehicle a little bit longer, and we ended up with about 7 liters on 1 kilometers. That's about 34 mpg for US or 41 gallons in the UK, and I think that's really a very decent figure for this petrol engine. Well, we hope that the petrol engine problems will not continue. So far it looks good then for the 219 models, and the 217 to 18 models are being repaired, Honda says. Overall, I think it's a very decent package. It's not too low in the price. Looking at Europe, in the US, it's actually more affordable, that's for sure. But overall, I think they still have a great package for this vehicle, and I can really understand why this is one of the most popular ones. What do you think?